Yo, what's up, folks? This isn't gonna echo, is it? Oh, got it. Yeah, so my Firefox still doesn't show my Google, my YouTube page correctly, so I just don't even bother fighting with it anymore. I just open up a private window so I can look at it from the outside. It just takes me an extra second, that's all. My computer is killing itself. I have to apologize. I rebooted, and it could not find my microphone at all. So sometimes I just have to reboot twice. That's the way that works. Okay. That's a new record. We are literally only about 2 minutes into the stream and Narg has already implied something racist. Very nice. That took no time at all. Peak, even. Oh, boy. Okay. Let's actually finish something. We'll do this and then we'll go back and try to progress the story. I'm gonna let everyone else know right the fuck now. This is not a long stream, okay? Does everyone understand the words I'm saying? This will not be a long stream, all right? So when someone asks me in about an hour why it's not a long stream, you've been forewarned. Which means someone will ask me and I will be like, yeah, okay, anyway. I worry about y'all sometimes. Very nice. Okay, who do we need for this? Charmander. I think it's because they're still celebrating. Where the fuck is Charmander? There you go. Have I been to the other maps yet? That's a secret. Spot the person who hasn't seen the last several streams. Confirmed. Cubone. Okay, here you go. It'll be built eventually. You know, Body Snatchers is actually a pretty terrifying movie. Especially with, like, the twist ending. I mean, like, that's the thing, though. My biggest complaint is that too many horror movies have twist endings. I think that's part of the problem. Yes, we've been to other maps. This will be done in an hour. No, it'll be done in like 15 minutes. Okay. But outside of that, I didn't really enjoy Invasion of the Body Snatchers that much. It was like okay. I didn't love it, but I also didn't hate it. Very nice. Uh-oh. Hang on. Fucking, I hate Google Chrome. It might actually be so delayed, it's just now trying to open the fucking link. Oh well, I can't fix that. What can I do? Leaf Cottage. We're gonna do one more Leaf Cottage somewhere. I just don't know where specific. Okay, perfect. No, wait. It's gonna try. I have no control over Google Chrome right now. It is just loading whatever the fuck it wants. Ah, God! And I muted it and it unmuted itself because Google Chrome is haunted. And it refuses to close the tab. I know it's echoing. Okay, I think it's done. Actually fucking haunted, dude. Okay. Well, I'll message Dax tonight and tell him that, you know, it would be nice if we could do stuff tomorrow, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. He might be busy. What sites have I been visiting? YouTube.com. No one listens to anything I say. I'm just gonna have silent commentary. When I reboot my computer and I open up like Google Chrome and stuff, it lags horrifically. And so I tried to open the new session, because I usually... Oh no, where's Heracross? I try to open up, you know, just the session so I could actually do something. And I had to open it up in a Firefox private window because it took so fucking long. I mean, well, if you don't believe me, I'm just not going to say anything then. Girder. Fuck it, I should have just let it echo on the goddamn stream. Would you like me to? I don't have enough materials. Okay. Because certainly echoing myself across the stream multiple times is not going to annoy the shit out of everyone. Okay. Go to Bleak Beach. I don't even know if I'm gonna keep doing Pokopia, man. Not gonna lie, this was kind of a waste of money. I should have stuck to my gut. Oh shit, birthday? Is it your birthday? Hopefully, oh, you know, if it's your birthday, happy birthday. Why don't we finish ZA then? Because I don't want to play ZA a whole bunch, because I've done nothing but play ZA nonstop. So, you know, people ask for Pokopia. You asked for Pokopia. Oh, nice. Happy birthday, man. Yep, have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Recycling slogan. Garbage. Garbador. Ah, yeah, happy belated. Oh my god. Articuno stamp. Okay. Sure, we'll buy this. Large square rug. There's not really much else to get. Okay. I forget what we're even supposed to be doing, honestly. Huh? What the hell are we doing? Is there anything you're having trouble with? So you don't understand? What should I do? Make some homes Pokemon would like to live in? Like here? That's the wrong thing. I never have wanted to open that. Please put it away. Make habitats. What habitats do we have here? In this area. Here we go. A resting spot requires... No, there's nothing else to get from this. We already have everything. So we have to make tree-shaded yellow tall grass, no matter what. Oh, my inventory's full. You can't just hold it. I cannot put that down. That's great. We're not going to build this. I'm just putting it there for later. Oh, here we go. We already have someone. Makuhita. Sue, what a nice place. I really like it, and you made it for me? Keep training hard so I can help you out next time you want to make something. Toughens up by slamming into thick trees over and over. It gains a sturdy body and dauntless spirit. Build and bulldoze. I'm not sure what the reference is, Narg. What's up? Here you go, Ditto. Maybe this will help with something. Lepa berry. There's no reference, I guess. Yeah. It's like Planet of the Apes, but instead of landing with a bunch of apes, it's like Mad Maxing it a bit, I guess. That's kind of okay. And you can not get rid of the sludge. That's kind of crazy. Okay, let's eat. There you go. Like a mishmash between Pandorum, Planet of the Apes, and Dead Space. I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard of Pandorum. You have to cut this. Yeah. It's a good movie. Okay. I don't usually watch like a lot of movies, and like half the shows that I think sound interesting never get like a season 2. So there's no point ever getting excited because they'll just get canceled. So like what's the point of getting hyped for a fucking show if you have no idea if it'll get a season 2 or not? Like they've canceled so many shows that I thought were interesting over the last couple of years. Basically like the whole post-COVID era has just been like shows I thought sounded cool that just never got a second season. At that point, it's like, well, why bother? And remember, they want you to pay tons of fucking money for these streaming services just so they could cancel shows on a whim because they were just like, we don't want to. So they were actually going to make an adaptation of Y: The Last Man, which I thought was like a really, really cool graphic novel, and then they canceled it after one season. So that was nice. It's like, well, why even get hype? Also, the showrunner made a lot of interesting comments, but besides that, it was like, okay, well, here's something cool that you probably wouldn't see get made, and then they prove exactly why you're never going to see it get made. No. Okay. It just gets a little tiring after a point. It's just like, well, why even get hyped for anything? I mean, haven't the last several years been nothing but like why you shouldn't get hyped for anything ever anyway? More Pokemon? Well, we have 2 different ones. I mean, do we just set up security cameras? I don't even know if security cameras work in, like, different areas. Plaster wall. Fence. It's just like, it reminds me how fast the hype around the Fallout show died down. I remember being in Whole Foods and they had the they have those bags or whatever where they're just like doing a whole bunch of stuff. You're just kind of wondering, like, wait, really, dude? Like, you don't know normies are gonna fucking watch Fallout, dude. It's like they're remaking Halo, right? They're remaking Halo 1. What is it called? Like the Campaign Evolved, sorry. And it's like, dude, who are they really remaking this for? Just so they could drop it again on Sony? Like, I even told Gundam Otaku, I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll play it when it's used. Like, I'm gonna treat it like all the other shit. Like, why am I gonna rush to fucking play it? Especially since it has no multiplayer. So on Steam, one of the big things that they're advertising about is that you could replay campaign missions with skulls. And I'm like, dude, that's been in every Halo game ever since the beginning of Halo ever. So that's not like a new feature. Like, you could play Halo 1 right now with skulls on, I believe, and there's nothing stopping you. And even if there is, it's like, well, you're really gonna pay $70 just to see how badly fucking 343 bastardizes a literal classic? Like, to me, that just doesn't make any sense. It's like, well, what the fuck? Like, why even get hype? I'm not even trying to be mean to them. I know a lot of people are probably working on it. It's like, what is new here that we haven't done or seen yet? Nothing. It's just another excuse to do Halo again. And let's be fair here. It's not like 343. It's not like, you know, Master Chief Collection doesn't, you know, is suddenly dead. Original Halo C was just Halo 1 with easier mod support. Yeah, it's like, well, why even bother? We're gonna remake this ancient fucking game for what reason, man? Just because they know it'll get people to fucking show up and people will be hype, and that's really it. They just know it'll get people hype. They could get people to say Halo's back. You know, they'll get people to tweet about it. You know, look, I'm not against that, right? Obviously, I'm glad for the Halo fans. Like, it's better that this exists than not. But it's like, well, why can't this exist and we get something new and fresh? Like, why does this have to be such an obvious on its face cash cow? And who knows if they'll actually even do anything with the sequel, you know? Like, this is a whole ass franchise with like 8 or 9 games in the main, you know, in the main timeline. Like, who even knows if we're gonna get anything out of this at all? So I don't know. Like, I'm sure it'll have co-op, but Gundam Otaku and I already did co-op all those years ago. It's like, okay, well, now we're just gonna do co-op again, I guess. So, I mean, yay for anyone who wants to see us do more co-op, I guess. A knitting station habitat. Halo, don't know if it'll be Halo because the engine is Unreal. Oh. Yeah, you know, that's one thing I'll also say about Resident Evil, and Narg will probably agree with me on this. For what it's worth, it not being just another Unreal Engine game makes it feel 20 times more unique. You know, it's not like, you know, back in the day when when EA was making Titanfall off the Source engine. Now it's just like, oh, okay, well, it's the fucking usual, right? So that is something I have to give, you know... What the hell is this? Whoops. That is something that I have to give Respawn. They're actually very good at what they do. You wouldn't even know that's a Source Engine game. I had to look it up. I read somewhere it was a Source Engine game. I was like, no, it's not. Yeah, Titanfall 2 is a Source Engine game. It does not look like a Source Engine game. At all. Of course, that's the game that gets screwed over, obviously. One of the few fresh and original ideas. So Halo just being an Unreal Engine game, I don't know. I mean, ultimately the engine kind of doesn't matter that much. It's more like, why the hell even do it, man? Vermilion City has been awarded first place on the most livable cities list, making this the 4th consecutive year that our city has received this honor. The city scored highly due to its abundance of natural beauty, which has been preserved despite ongoing urban development, as well as its many sightseeing spots. The gorgeous view of the harbor at night was cited as one of the main deciding factors. Piss water. Twine. No one cares about the awning, I can tell you right now. I don't. I speak for everyone. Tried to run Chronos: A New Dawn, which uses Unreal Engine 5, and this game with 2017 graphics refused to run stable. I have the same problem with World of Warcraft. If I play WoW for like longer than a couple of hours, it becomes really unstable, and I basically have to reboot my computer afterwards. And I have no idea why World of fucking Warcraft, of all video games, is like this impossible to keep stable game. I could play Final Fantasy all fucking day and have no problems, basically, unless I AFK and leave it running all night. Or like for a couple hours and just don't play it. Warcraft, I could be actively playing it and the game will just naturally degrade my computer's performance. I have no idea why specifically Warcraft does it at fucking all. It's really fucking weird and I don't understand it whatsoever. But that's another reason why I don't like PC games. A lot of times these games are just not even begun to be optimized for PC, so there's just no point. It's like, why am I gonna... What? Who the fuck is this? May Reap. Oh, shit. No, oh my god, talk to him. Good lord. Oh my gosh, I am so itchy. Could you scratch my back for me? Pretty please? I can't reach with my hooves. Those are hooves? That's the spot right there. Whew. I'm so sorry. Just really good at back scratching, so I let out a little shock without thinking. Well, you really helped me out. Thank you so much. If static electricity builds in his body, its fleece doubles in volume. Touching it will shock you. Alright. Puffy tree pillar. Oh shit, it's Lugia. I wonder what all these feathers are going to be used for. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Resident Evil games seem to run really well. Besides the original Resident Evil 4 port on PC, I think that one was really bad. Again, to be fair, a lot of PC ports were pretty ass back then. So, like, I don't know. Like, it seems like sometimes it's really in the money. Like, it's simple, it's easy, it works. Sometimes it's fucked up. You know, a lot of PC ports prior to, like, 2015 are pretty bad if they're not, like, MMOs or specifically PC games. But I don't know. Like, I fully admit I'm not, like, a huge PC dude. Like, I don't really like to fumble around with stuff too much. I just kind of like it to work. So usually I just outfit my PC with everything it'll need and then just call it a day. But mainly what I use my PC for is rendering, which is a high-end thing. That's like the primary thing I will use my computer for, is rendering, basically. I mean, obviously, if you're rendering, it's like, okay, well, you know, that kind of kills your computer a lot. Suck PC port. I got one. I gotta look up a name. Yeah, a lot of PC ports just suck. They're just not very good. Moreover, a lot of times, like, if a game is bad on its base, it's just gonna be bad on the PC port as well. Because they basically just make a console version and then just nail a bunch of stuff and add some features. PS2 game? Oh. Remember when the PC ports of games used to be, like, vastly different? They would make, like, basically 2 separate games. One for, like, PS2, Xbox, then they make another game for DS, and they make a third game that was the actual game. Basically, that's like the Ubisoft method. Ubisoft are, like, kings of doing that. Surprisingly, no one hated them for that because I think people understood it was fine. Today, no company has the money to do that at all. Make 5 different copies of a game. Do you actually, like... Oh, yeah, because you do it for work, right? You do, like, other things. I thought you were, like, modeling, like, avatars and stuff. I don't know. Oop. How can we be carrying too much stuff? Maybe we'll learn how to clean up sludge. That'll probably be the next thing. It's so dark. Does this town seem dark to you? Like weirdly dark all the time, night and day? Don't get me wrong, I like the dark, but I don't like it being this dark all the time. It brings me down, you know? No, I think about it, human houses look bright, even at night. My little shack's still pretty dark. I think I could brighten it up. Get a light source? Oh, great idea, like a mushroom lamp or something. Those things are bright and cool looking. Can you help me out? Could you make some mushroom lamps and put them in my shack? You need to use glowing mushrooms. You also could spruce up my shack with 2 mushroom lamps. The Great Escape? I don't know if I've ever heard of that. I know of Enslaved Odyssey to the West. And, Rayman 2, The Great Escape. Team R Grunts Journal number 3. One good thing and one bad thing happened to me today. The good thing was I got assigned to a special mission by the boss. Our boss really knows how to pick people for special missions. If I do well in this, maybe I could climb the ranks to exec to no time. I'll climb the ranks to exec in no time, maybe. The bad thing is that the mission itself seems really hard and kind of annoying. He wants me to gather things, all kinds of things. In a time like this, food, furniture, what else? Anyway, just lots of stuff. I'm just a little grunt and don't have any underlings of my own, so it's a big ask. I'm just trying to figure out the absolute easiest low energy way to complete this mission. He's a smart man. What was that supposed to be? The SSN? A walkway? There's a Smeargle. Yes, yes! These colors simply amazing. Yes, this is the beauty of nay, the very essence of art, right? Just a little more, keep going. I hunger. Art is hunger. Art is hunger and hunger is art. From an empty stomach springs boundless creativity. No muse inspires like the rumble of a tummy. Be that as it may, I'm a little too hungry for my liking. In fact, this is no time for art at all. I must eat. Either won't you help a poor starving artist? All I ask for is a simple lepa berry. Do you have one to give? What a ripe, juicy-looking berry in that color, red as the burning flames of inspiration. While merely gazing upon it sets my withered heart ablaze. I've come up with a brilliant idea. Hold on to that lepa berry for now, my friend. This Pokemon secretes a multicolored body fluids from the tip of its tail that it uses as paint. Hopes to paint the landscape of its birthplace someday. Okay. Alright, let's go look over here. A plain bed. Execute tropical vibes. We need tropical flowers, I guess. Okay, we need a tropical tree. Well, we don't have enough, put that down, I guess. Tropical vibes. Oh, we can't hold it. They're a different kind. Okay. The Great Escape 1963, based on real-life POW breakout. The game is a weird stealth prison break and shooter. You know, that actually sounds really cool. Like, you have to, you know, not do suspicious things, probably try to break out at the end of the game. That sounds kind of cool. But that's actually what I was saying earlier today when we were, like, basically Ubisoft uploaded the combat of Assassin's Creed as a movie, or like as a little bit of a trailer or something, just to show off how their games have evolved. And that's actually something that I was saying. I was like, well, hold on, if they left Assassin's Creed as a pure stealth franchise and they made it more stealthy, it wouldn't be popular, because a lot of stealth games are just not popular. Like, they are just nowhere near as popular as their contemporaries. Like, so I kind of understand why they would do that. Like, people could take a lot of issue with that, but let's be completely honest, most stealth games do not become very big. Like, basically making a stealth game is like condemning yourself to having like an average, if not poor sales, because stealth games are not popular. Like, a lot of people do not play Hitman. I mean, hell, a lot of people don't even bother to play Resident Evil. I mean, that's just the easiest topic ever. Like, people just don't even want to play Resident Evil. And that's like a considerably popular game. Resident Evil was basically, I think, #2 on Steam the week it came out, only behind Counter-Strike. Something like that. It was really high on the fucking list, which is atypical for both a horror game, a Resident Evil game, and both. What the fuck? It's Mosslax. ZZZ. Oh, wrong thing. I don't think I could place it. I'm giving remakes separate ways another chance. I mean, sure, I just didn't bother. By the time it came out, I already moved on. Like I said, it was fine. I didn't hate the remake. I also just didn't particularly care for the majority of it, but I don't know. People say the Ada actress doesn't sound good. I mean, she sounds different. I don't know if it's like bad, but she just sounds really different. Like, I'm not gonna be such a purist about it, but I just wasn't really. I wasn't gonna be enthralled by it to begin with. Place a register where you do business and power with electricity. Place a table to place your wares on. Recruit staff for the store. Listen, at least I'll be honest about it. I kind of knew I just wasn't going to be that interested. Man, I'm carrying too much of everything. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and play Remake separate ways. Like I said, I'll probably end up playing Remake because I want to like do a Resident Evil-a-thon for Xbox. I think that would be kind of fun. Playing Resident Evil 1 again is going to be fun. Because I'm a big fan of Resident Evil 1. It's okay, but it doesn't even line up with Leon's story anymore. Yeah, that sucks, because that was the whole purpose of Resident Evil of Separate Ways in the first place, was like explaining all these weird intricacies. Remember, that Ada cutscene in Resident Evil 4 is like completely missable. In fact, that's why when I did the playthrough, I always make sure to do the cutscene, even if it takes just an extra second, just because it is canon. Like, we know it is canon. So that's the only reason I go back and intentionally trigger it. Because on a first playthrough, you could miss that. On a second playthrough, you could miss it. You know, that's what I like about Resident Evil 4, is like, a lot of the intricacies of the game are nestled just perfectly inside of it, you know? So like one of the things, I know the Crow Cat videos making the rounds, right? I know a lot of people getting their feelings about the Resident Evil 4 remake, which it's really interesting how like universally people consider the Resident Evil 3 remake to be like a game that works, but like kind of a flawed remake and not a very good game at that. It's like average. But meanwhile, if you'd say anything about the Resident Evil 4 remake, it's like, oh my god, how could you do that? It's very weird how sacred cowed the Resident Evil 4 remake has become. I genuinely don't understand, honestly. I don't really get that. And I say this, and I still think the Resident Evil 4 remake is much better than the 3 remake, like by a wide margin. But I do think it's a little bit just kind of stupid and silly to be like, well, you know, this game is flawless and perfect. I think people really, really, really have to like Resident Evil 4 for some reason. I'm not suspecting some kind of conspiracy. I just think it's interesting how universally we can all just kind of shit on Resident Evil 3 remake. There's like a handful of people on Twitter that even like go on a limb to defend it. They're like, oh, well, it's fine, just fucking toxic fans. Like, dude, the GameCube version has more content. And I'd argue more replayability. If you're getting mogged by a GameCube game in the year 2020, you are pretty much cooked. You're not going to make it. I hate to be that guy. Nice. Those mushroom lamps brighten my shack right up. Thanks a bunch, Ditto. Wow, you could do anything. It really does look quite nice. There's something so calming about a bit of light. For other Pokemon too. Pokemon all have different individual quirks, you know. So I'm sure there's some that prefer the dark, but this place was so dark even Meowth found it too gloomy. If you keep adding more lights to the area, it's sure to please other Pokemon too, and I suspect humans are the same in that regard. After all, when the humans were still around, the towns are brighter than this even at night. Okay. Pokemon will be active for more hours in a day if the brightness of their home is to their liking. Okay. Zubat. Well, this is like a pretty sweet spot to live. You're saying you made this place? That's super awesome. Thanks a bunch. I hope we can play together here soon. You know what would be fun to do here? A little nighttime hide and seek. It has no eyes. Instead, it relies on ultrasonic cries for echolocation to flit about in darkness. Okay. I don't even know what politics are involved in Resident Evil 3. I just think it's just not a good remake. I think most people seem to agree to that as well. It just objectively has cut content. Like, by far. It just does. That's not even an opinion. It just has removed things from the original. And that's all people really complained about. I don't think people even wanted the rumors to be true. I just think that they wanted there not to be ridiculous amounts of cut content in, at the time, what, like a 20-something-year-old game? A 22-year-old game? You know, how did they make Mr. X feel like more of a stalker than Nemesis? It kind of defeats the whole purpose. Like, Mr. X went from being a fucking joke, you could, you know, just despawn by running in and out of a door, to an actual terrifying threat for the whole first half of the game. But what I would really want is a stalker enemy that literally pursues you the whole game. Like, maybe not at every point, but every open portion of the game, like he's just around and kind of trying to look for you or something. I think having that balance would be good, right? Like, I don't know. Look at all that mud. You got a sec? My home's way brighter thanks to you, and I'm really happy about that, but it's also shed some light on a brand new problem. Look at this. See all that nasty mud? My shack's surrounded by it. Yuck. There's no way I can clean this mess with my claws, and I don't know what else to do. I know someone who's really good at getting rid of stubborn messes like this, but I have no clue where they went. They used to live somewhere like this, though. A Piplup, okay. Hydrated tall grass. I did not mean to do that. Does my leafage change? Yes, it does, okay. Probably will spawn really quickly, sooner than later. Hello? What the fuck was that? Pip Pip, who are you? Why do you look funny? Isn't it hard to swim like that? I get it, you're better at walking, aren't you? I like swimming better than walking myself. I hope we could swim together sometime. This is one of the best designed starters, by the way, just aesthetically and type-wise. A poor walker, it often falls down. However, strong pride makes it puff up its chest without a care. Okay. I sure you love cleaning. You want to clear off some stubborn mud? That's the kind of thing I'm good at. Love to help. Lead the way. Piplup will spray the mud with bubbles. Once it's covered in bubbles, you can wash it off with water gun. Yeah, I got the mud all bubbled up. Now spray with water and it should wash right away. It's all clean now. I'm going to clean up all the mud now, and it'll go real quick if we work together. My home's so nice and clean now. You're the best. You helped out too, right, Piplup? You're welcome. I like cleaning, so it was fun. Looks like this area's got a ton of gross mud all over the place. Let me know if you ever need help. I bet you two can make quick work of it. Well, maybe you'll find some cool stuff hiding under all those piles of muddy goop. Is he with me? No, here we go. Come with me. It's pretty telling the part you enjoyed the most was getting the hose. I mean, like, I don't know. I kind of remember just beating it in one sitting, so I don't really remember much besides they changed, like, that one fight where you have to put acid on Nemesis. That fight was kind of ass. I won't lie to you. I didn't really like that fight. I thought it was a cool design in the original, but I didn't think it was like a particularly fun fight. It was just a different fight. I actually preferred that it was like this weird arena. A breezy flower bed. I mean, every Resident Evil game has that part, whether it's the water room or something else, but I don't know. Like, for what it's worth, I didn't think Cat was, like, that out of pocket. I kind of agree. It's just, like, certain things will be more memorable than their remakes, purely because they are effectively timeless for even introducing such a concept. Like, by definition, I don't think a remake can really handle living up to the original. I think the only remake that could possibly do that is probably, well, the Resident Evil 1 remake kind of did it, I guess, right? The Resident Evil 1 remake actually does that, but that's because the original Resident Evil is a very flawed game. Now, if you want to talk about impact overall, I mean, you know, it's whatever. Obviously, Resident Evil 1, you know, paved the way, but I don't know. Resident Evil 1 is just... It's okay, right? Like, I don't hate it, but I don't really enjoy playing the original because it's kind of bullshit. I always talk about the zombies being able to stun lock you. You know, there's like a lot of the puzzles are just kind of weird and awkward. I much prefer the remake, and I'm glad that's the version that's on the GameCube because that's the one I grew up playing. Before 2015, remakes were pretty universally well received. Usually. I'm sure if we look, there's probably a couple of remakes that weren't. Well, technically 2014 was what? Oras? And Oras was not well received, especially when they cut the Battle Frontier. So, I mean, but that's Pokemon. You could argue that's an extenuating circumstance, purely because Pokemon is just run by dickheads. So I guess you could argue that's not the same as the average game, but yeah. Yeah, I used to hope for old games to get remade. I agree. You could iron out some of the bullshit that just doesn't really work in the games. I actually really like it when they remake old games a lot of the times. Make, you know, at least port them so they're available. But like a lot of these modern games don't really need remakes. Like, do we really need like a re-encapsulation of like Last of Us 1? Of course not. They just want to milk it a little bit because it's just their baby franchise and they want to make it synchronize better with the shitty second game. You know, like, do we need remakes of games like Halo 1, which already had an enhanced port in 2011? Probably not. You know, like, Gears of War Reloaded is just a touch-up, so it's not the same. But, you know, I just don't think we need to have remakes of a lot of these games. I think it's just a really cheap way to, like, redo a lot of stuff. Now, sometimes if it's an old game, it works because it's, you know, the game's fucking old. Like, if they were to remake, like, Dino Crisis or, hell, Silent Hill 1, I'm actually cool with that. I actually think that's perfectly fine. Why? Because Silent Hill 1 is also a very old, clunky game, so I wouldn't hate it. Yeah, nowadays it's like, I don't know if I trust them to remake something and properly retain all the bullshit. So it's like, if they release the God of War shit and they censor or remove the sex scenes, I mean, boy, does that not justify everything people have been saying about the modernization of games? Like, when they really say these games are made for a modern audience, they basically mean it's just made for feminists. And no feminists are gonna play God of War, dude. That's just some lie that some corpo tells themselves to justify removing it. I don't think I've met... I met one woman ever in my life that played God of War. Exactly one. That is a male-centric franchise. Through and through, which I think should be seen as okay, but, you know. They're gonna fuck something up with that God of War remake, report. And it makes me sad because I don't want them to. But I don't know. I haven't played it, but I've seen Let's Plays. No, that's fine, but that's what I'm saying, is like, it's a very... The only people I know that actually went out of their way to go play it were dudes. And that's okay. I think that not everything needs to be for everyone. Like, this kind of game only appeals to me purely because I like fucking Pokemon. And that's it. You know, like, Animal Crossing was fun, you know, it was kind of cool. That was like where Ash and I did a lot of OG co-ops, so that was kind of okay. But outside of that, like, I don't know, man, it's not my kind of game, and I just accept it, and it's fine. You know, it's not a big deal. Not everything can appeal to me, and I don't know why we can't just accept that for other things. Like, I don't think you're gonna find a significant female, you know, base for, like, Gears of War, for example. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. Hell, Resident Evil should be definitely a top played game for females, and it's just not. Resident Evil has some of the most iconic women in gaming. Next to, like, I don't want to say, not Resident Evil. Next to, like, I guess, like, Bayonetta. I mean, Pokemon is kind of whatever. Maybe you could argue Pokemon. I wouldn't really argue Pokemon, personally. There you go, I got it. Oh. This actually works perfectly fine. Cannot climb in this? Oops. By actually doing this, I've kind of fucked it up. I mean, to go back to what Narg was saying earlier, that's pretty much 90% of the drama around Pragmata, basically. Is a bunch of people mad that the game glorifies fatherhood. Like, it's basically a gigantic fatherhood simulator. That's pretty much 90% of the shit I've seen around that game. Is people mad that the game is like a fatherhood simulator. And I'm just like, really? It's so fucking weird. It's the definition of weird. It's the usual suspects up to fucking no good. As usual. Okay, let's put the grate back, since I broke that. I'm drowning. Okay. I should probably get some water, since I'm kind of thirsty. So, what I'll do really quickly, nothing attacks you in this game. I could just leave it running. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get some water real quick, because I'm basically out. So I'm going to get another bottle real quick. Alright, give me just a minute. I'll be back. Alright, I had to put my food into the fridge. That took a minute. Alright. If I known it was going to take this long, I would have gotten the mail. I'm already back, don't worry. Yeah, if you play Pragmata, yeah, you're a PDF file. Pragmata drama is like when you grab a perfectly fine game and hoop it. What? I mean, all the Reddit mods go mask off. I don't even think it's just Reddit mods. I think it's just people who are miserable that just don't want anything nice for, I mean, let's be fair, for dudes. Like, you have plenty of mother simulator games. You get a one father simulator game, and all of a sudden, every dude that plays is in a PDF. Like, does that even make sense? Is that like a rational, logical thing to even say? If anything, like, they're just gonna Hogwarts Legacy it into fame. Like, if they just said nothing, I think it would just disappear and people wouldn't care. I think the biggest mistake that they make is, you know, yelling about it. And the next thing you know, fucking Hogwarts Legacy becomes a top fucking seller because they just fucking couldn't stop it. Someone's having trouble following you. You're right here. Oh, you need food? Gives them some food. I don't think I've ever had someone run out of energy like this. Here you go. I'm still waiting for my copy to come in, but Gundam Otaku's been playing it. In fact, let me summon this dude. Let me see if he's here, because we're supposed to play Spice Marine in like 3 minutes. Oh, hold on, let me reply to this. Looking good. Just let me know when/where. Alright. Let me go to this dude. Where is he in my DMs, dude? Yo, you around? His name in my DMs is not Gundam Otaku. I have no idea where this fucking guy is 99% of the time in my DMs at all. It's so brutal because he has the same profile picture every time and I just cannot find him for the life of me. So I'll just fumble around and look through my DMs and I'm like, where is Max? And I cannot find him. Uh-oh, here we go. Spinner rack. Very nice. This is the perfect place for spinning my web. Wait, you're saying you made this? That's amazing. Please come play with me whenever you want. With threads from its mouth, it fashions sturdy webs that won't break even if you set a rock on them. I'm happy to see more Pokemon. Looks like more Pokemon will come back to live in this place too. Pretty amazing. I'm really quite impressed. The town's gotten much livelier too. At this point, I want to see some houses. If we built some nice houses for Pokemon to live in, this place ought to feel even more like it did when humans were still around. Can do. Always so dependable. Start by building a house for Pokemon to live in. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, what if we just made this house? I don't know how many people can live in a house, so I don't know. Maybe we'll make some small shacks again. Crush. Here we go. Someone with Crush, I guess. Pommy? It's a stranger. Times like this, you gotta show them your special move. So I'm supposed to rub my cheeks. Me. Look at it. This is awesome. I ate electricity for the first time in a while. Heh. It has underdeveloped electric sacs on its cheeks. These sacs can produce electricity only if Palmy rubs them furiously with the pads on its forepaws. Well, it has generate. Earned a recipe as a reward for discovering lots of Pokemon. Needs more color. Needs more cowbell too. I love how clean and comfy my shack is now, and it's all thanks to you. Any chance you could help with one last thing? Now, humans used to decorate their homes by growing nice-smelling flowers outside. They put them in, what do you call those things? The fancy looking boxes where flowers grow? A planter. That's it, a planter. You know everything. I want to get a planter for my shack that I could spruce it up by growing some flowers. What kind of materials do you need to make a planter, though? Seems like the sort of thing Torchic would know, but I haven't seen them around for a while. Torchic used to live in a spot that looked like this. Chirp meal. Okay, well, we have one. Run to Torchic, you should try asking them how to make a planter. You can make one and help me plant some pretty flowers in my shack. I mean, don't we have one right over here? I think we need to get a plate. Oh, here we go. How do you place... Oh, here we go. There you go. Chirp meal. Torchic and something very rare. The remake hand cannon is so comical. I thought the original was comical. But like that's the one thing that the remake does fix. Is that the remake actually lets you store weapons, so when you do a New Game Plus, you don't have to sell weapons you spent time upgrading. Because basically, if you have the Chicago typewriter, the shotgun, and the sniper, you pretty much don't need much of anything else. Damn it, it landed perfectly on this. Look at that. Torch. Hi there, human or Pokemon, which is it? Maybe I can tell if I peck you. Sorry, I was just joking. I won't peck you. Make it up to you by warming you up on cold days with my nice toasty tummy. Come hug me anytime. In its belly, it has a sack filled with burning fire, meaning that Torchic feels as warm as a hot water bottle if you hug it. Burned. Maybe I can help. You're having trouble with something. I want to make a planter. You need bricks. I can make bricks with squishy clay. I just bake the clay with fire. I'm really good at it, so I can make you some anytime you bring me squishy clay. Okay. There's some squishy clay. Yes. It'll take a little time before it's all baked. You do something else while you wait. They both went to sleep on the bench. Where are you going? Oh, he wants water. He has a quest now. Okay. No water's coming out. Rain? I'm trying to get this shower to work. Right now it's not giving me any water. I'm afraid that's not a shower. What, really? That's a street light. Humans made those to light up the town. Oh, no way. I was really looking forward to splashing around a bit. Say, why don't you try making a shower for Pokemon like spending time in water? To be honest, I hadn't put much thought into the idea myself. I suppose it stands to reason that you don't know how to make one either. To make something like that, I believe you need iron ore. Probably. Where do we find iron ore? That's a good question. I'm fairly certain most human-made machines were constructed from iron ore or something like it. That's easy then. We could just smash up old machines that are sitting around here and we'll get iron ore. That won't do it all. If you go around smashing up machines, they might explode. Not to mention the humans will probably be none too pleased whenever they come back. I think it would be much better to gather up small bits of iron ore from the non-burnable garbage. That sounds like so much work. I wonder if someone can help us out. I know of a Pokemon called Trubbish who looks just like garbage themselves. If you could find a Trubbish, they might help you. I know Trubbish, and I definitely remember them living around lots and lots of trash. Guess we should go find Trubbish first then. Trash collection site. Waste bin any, assign any, and garbage bags. Voltorb on a park bench next to a garbage can. Oh, yep. What is it? A spotlight. What was it again? Like, what's the positioning I have to do? Knitting station. Oh, what the hell? How is it not in this area? What? We need garbage bags. I wonder where we're supposed to get garbage bags from. I guess what we could do is we could just look around. There's plenty of other parts of the town that we just have not been around at all. Imagine Leon pre-selected for his mission as CEO and everyone else rolling their eyes when he finally gets to use this impractical dumbass weapon. But isn't that the best kind of way to use a weapon? I mean, as we said before, the whole assault pistol thing is pretty useless. It's not practical. But in the Resident Evil universe, you have no idea how hard or how tough something might be that you have to punch through. So all of a sudden, this weapon that's impractical for combat becomes actually invaluable. I mean, needless to say, I think Leon's mission probably would have been near impossible without Requiem. But it's Resident Evil. You could always just argue they would just write it differently so it wouldn't matter. So who knows? Like, that's ultimately the biggest argument for anything. You could argue they would just write it differently, and then, you know, whatever happens would be fine. Matilda is so fun in the remake. I don't know. I guess that's one thing I would have to do, is I'd have to actually play it and unlock all this shit. But you have to... There's always like an Ashley segment I don't want to do, or, you know, whatever. It's just one of those things. Oh. You know, when you think of random facts, I do that all the time with video games. How long is this stream going to be? Until Gundam Otaku messages me. It could be 5 minutes from now. It could be 5 seconds from now. It could be 2 hours. I don't know. If he's on at too late of a time, I don't think we're going to get to play. Which is fine. I'm not going to be mad at him. I mean, the dude's tired. I'm not going to fucking ask him to work for free. But I guess we'll have to see. I don't know. What was I doing again? I need to eat. Okay. Yeah, they have like multiple bridges we could build. I mean, does it matter? Why don't we just use some like cliff rock? Does it matter what we make our bridges out of? I don't think anyone's gonna care besides me. The VP70's 3-round burst is so quick you hear it as one shot. Yeah, it's probably just one of those gameplay reasons. You know, like Call of Duty used to do that all the time. They would do something that obviously wasn't hyper-realistic, just so that way you would get the feedback as a player, you know, as someone who doesn't fire guns. I wouldn't even hate it. You know, it's fine. Iron ore. Oh, we can't make garbage bags. What the hell? Can we make a... We need iron ore. Okay, so they give you one. What happens if you lose an item? Your content manager is obligated to provide content. No, I've told Gundam Otaku plenty of times. If you ever want to stop making content, just tell me. Like I've told him, it's okay if you don't want to do this. Like, you know, if you think it's worn out, it's welcome, and we're done, and you know we've done it a whole bunch, and you're just, you know, you're over it. We could just stop. But he says he wants to keep doing it, so you know, it's not a big deal. I flat out told him, like, look, you're not getting paid for this. I'm not getting paid for this. It's not like I'm holding off, you know, money from him. I'm not getting paid from it. You know, and if I don't want to work for free, then how the hell am I supposed to sit here and ask someone else to do it? Now, whether or not you view it as work is another topic entirely. I don't view it as work. That's just me, and that's why I was willing to say, like, look, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. Contrary to popular belief, I don't, like, hold my friends at fucking gunpoint to make content for a channel that maybe at most 10 people will see in the next decade. I don't do that. I know you're shitposting, but like, I know this has been a serious topic. Like, I'm holding this dude hostage. And the answer is no, I am absolutely not holding him hostage. At all. You're not really a human, are you? At this point, I guess it doesn't really matter. Yo, you got any garbage? My body's really craving some tasty garbage. You all should really do more littering around here. Its favorite places are unsanitary ones. If you leave trash lying around, you can even find one of these Pokemon living in your room. Need me for something? I want some iron ore. I want to get iron out of non-burnable garbage. Like that super hard stuff, I could totally do that, no problem. Let me eat the leftover non-burnable garbage and return it. It's a deal. I have refined taste, so I don't eat that weird iron ore stuff. Just bring me one bunch. You already got some. Could I have one bunch? Here you go. This is chow time. This is some premium garbage. You gotta take my time and really savor it. Sorry, it might take a while. I'll have the iron ore for you soon. Hilarious. Pokemon with a recycle specialty can process non-burnable garbage into iron ore. Oops. Oh my fucking lord. Oh, he's literally eating it, okay. Alright, Torchic's done. So I made you wait, but I finished your bricks. I make more too whenever you bring me some squishy clay. Drop the garbage bags. I better go to sleep soon. Look at this. Make me some bricks. We only hand over 10 at a time, okay. Is there some reason Charmander can't do this? Oh, here we go. Azuro. Boing boing, hi, nice to meet you. I'm happy to have a home now. I've been sleeping on my tail over there, but I'm not sure how much longer I could have lasted. So I'm gonna live here. Water and hype. After the Sykkuno drama, I hope I never ever happen upon a chance to meet one of my favorite VTubers. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think most people are probably normal enough that it wouldn't really be a big deal, man. I think you'd be fine, all things considered. But yes, in general, I tend to agree with the notion of never meet your heroes. Like, I will tend to lean towards agreeing with that, yes. I think at the end of the day, like, even if you really like a content creator, you have to remember they're just a human at the end of the day. We're just as fallible as the next dude. I think there's a lot of, especially since a lot of people grew up on YouTube, there's a lot of maybe over-exaggeration. A lot of us are just people. We're not any better or worse than half the other people you know in your lives at anything at all. And like, you know, random people on the street, a lot of people are just not good people. They live as drawings in my head, and honestly, that's kind of how it should be. You know, like, can you enjoy content from a creator that, you know, has been, you know, canceled or ruined? Probably. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think you could look back on the positive things and the you know, the fun that you had and the you know, the content you enjoyed, and you know, be responsible enough to understand that they might have done something that was fucked up later, but what they did, you know, at the time was good or fun, as long as it was like, oh, you know, they did something and then they murdered somebody. Okay, well, that's another topic, but I still think you can enjoy their content. I don't think there's inherently some, you know, barrier that prevents you from doing that. That said, Sykkuno was living the Chad life, and he even got his girlfriend to forgive him. So basically, a bunch of people exposed themselves for fucking nothing. Even Mugen had to release an apology video, because even he knows that video was biased. Like, if a reporter shows up at your house right before you get robbed, like literally the minute that the criminals pop out the van, like, don't you think that's kind of fucked? Isn't that kind of suspicious that they're already there, ready and waiting to fucking record it? It was obviously a fucking hype hit piece for views. And no one even really got his side of the story at all either. The whole situation was just clown world. As they say, terminally online shit. Like, you could have a world where both Sykkuno and the other people were in the wrong. That is totally viable. Okay. Right here. I'm trying to clean up this. Okay. Only paragons of virtue, as everyone in the media says over and over, is the keepers of truth. We must believe them. I know you're shitposting. It's just like, it's really just awful. It's like, you know, people are just, YouTubers are just human. I really do believe the whole idea that humans were never meant to know more than maybe like a couple hundred people tops. So the very notion of the internet is just completely unbelievable and incredulous to most people. Like, if I even had to begin to explain what I used to do on YouTube, or even today, honestly, to the majority of my family, especially my grandparents, they would just be unable to conceive of it. Because for them, if you didn't interact in person, and, you know, or at least from, you know, my grandparents, right, like, the very notion of a telephone was already kind of pushing it. Like, obviously it existed when they were kids, but it was all, you know, the idea of the internet just completely baffled them. If my mom and I didn't do it, my grandma did not interact with it, period. So, like, most people just were not, you just didn't evolve to have technology do this stuff. You just didn't. It's basically superpowers as far as most people are concerned. I'm always carrying around too much stuff. We're gonna build this pink hut. You know, this actually wouldn't be a bad place, and we just make a path that goes around it. But we're supposed to have this thing right there. That is true. That kind of sucks. There you go. Gloom. So it's so comfortable, makes me want to drool, slurp. Hey, you don't look so good. How are you? Are you feeling okay? What, an overwhelming stench you can't stand it. I wonder what that could be, slurp. I actually think something smells kind of nice. The nectar it drools from his mouth smells so atrocious it can make noses curl from more than a mile away. Grow. Is my inventory full? I can't pick this up? Yeah, I can't. Where the hell did I get a resort table from? You can't make you a paragon of virtue. Yeah, all those people running around like filming IRL pranks and IRL streaming. Yeah, obviously. I mean, like literally saying that the week of Johnny Somali's sentencing is like peak hilarity. Although I will say, like, obviously people hoping he would get locked up for like 6 years or more were absolutely out of their minds. But fucking 4 years, or sorry, 6 months is like nothing. I don't think anyone was pleased with how little time he actually got. 6 months is a fucking joke, honestly. I was hoping they would throw way more of the book at him. I was hoping, like, my conservative estimate was like 3 fucking years. Or sorry, no, sorry, 2 years. I was genuinely like, you know, maybe they'll give him like 2 years, right? I felt like that would have been like a fair amount. Like 2 years, maybe a year and a half, you know, worst case. 6 months after everything is fucking nothing. So, I don't know. They could appeal it. I don't even know if they've fully, like, taken him for all the things that he has done. They might try to charge him on some of the other stuff, too. Colorado Rockies? Oh, he's talking about baseball. That's fine. Yep, take it easy. Tomorrow is Dax Day. I mean, it'll only be Dax Day if Dax is here, folks. I'm letting you know that now. If he's tired or not here, it's not happening. Lusamine forever. I mean, listen, you know how much hilarity and content we've gotten off the internet? Like, you can't even really hate it sometimes. Tree shaded yellow tall grass. Noctowl. You need a gently lit bed. Oh, you also have a garbage can. Okay. I mean, yeah, hard labor's already kind of nuts, considering he swore up and down and left and right he wasn't going to get any time at all, but 6 months when, you know, they're saying all the minimums are so fucking high and everything was kind of weird. And you know that if it's not a long amount of time, they're going to come back and be like, this was a fucking dub. That's kind of the whole purpose of having a reasonable prison sentence. It's like, oh, well, you know, if we do, it's a deterrent. So people don't just show up there and then just expect 6 months or less and then just leave. Like, what the fuck? I mean, that's the shit I said about the guy in Grand Central. Like, they all suspiciously know who not to fuck with. Whether it's, you know, dudes in America or just, you know, people who are young and who could probably fight back. They all always know to go after, like, the really, really old people. You know what I mean? Like, if that's not suspicious, I don't know what is. Here, it's this bench over here. Oops, Park bench. Okay. Spinner rack. Okay. I had no idea what the hell that was. We have to find someone who could do crush. I mean, who the fuck knows what that'll be? There you go. We need to make some stairs up here. Iron ore. What are you gonna do with iron ore anyway? Look on your face tells me you just came up with a super awesome idea. Yo, if you ever feel the need for more iron ore, just let me know. I could always sort out a little more for you if you bring me some non-burnable garbage. Just remember, it'll take me a minute while I savor the flavor. Oops. He wants a bed. I mean, I gotta make a real house for him before anything else. Ah. $10. Give it to me. It'll take a sec though. Yeah, it'll take like an hour. Oh. Then we make a shower now? Bet we can. Once you made it, try setting it up somewhere nice. There you go. I'm carrying too much. Amazing. We actually kind of need to go back to the first area. Shower. Planter. He's got to go on the side of a building. There you go. Right there. You made the shower. Now I can splash around in water whenever I want. Made the planter. I knew I could count on you. Can you put the planter near my home and plant some flower seeds? You can plant seeds in planters. If you bring a Pokemon with a grow specialty to the planter, they'll speed up the growing process. Or we could just replant. Okay. Here. Thanks again for helping me out with everything. I had fun. Gotta say, you're seriously the awesomest. If there's anything I can do to help you out, just let me know. Okay, I owe ya. Alright, so I think he still wants houses. So let's go do that. Packing tips. There you go. Sand den kits. Demolition. Pokemon with the bulldoze specialty will help you. Okay. We could get 99 of them. Well, I don't think we'll need that many. Here we go. Brick steps. Plate. Relocation. Tripod. Desk light. I'm not really... I don't need security cameras. I guess we just have to build the sand dens, even though I kind of don't like them. Okay. Oh, I forget, it was a stack of 3. Oh my fucking lord. I quite literally just I bought 30 of them. That was a mistake. Oops. Should not have done that. We're gonna screw all these Pokemon over. We'll promise them that's beachfront properties. And it's just a bunch of dens. It's we'll sell them on it. You don't have anyone with build? Can we just do leaf houses? Because we know how to build those. We just don't have anyone build. I mean, I guess we could wait. I don't know. We'll see. What I'd like to do is I'd like to go back. I guess we go back now while we wait for things. String lights. Okay, here we go. Utility poles. That's probably for electricity. You could probably, yeah. Use these to connect electrical generators to machines that send electricity over long distances. So that's probably going to be the big thing for this chapter, is you learn how to use power, basically. There you go. We can also connect this. Photo number 3. Pretty photo of a Pokemon. Do we really have to wait for him to bubble it before we do it ourselves? I feel like that's just like an unnecessary step, honestly. Like, see, the reason why I think I like Dragon Quest Builders a bit more than this is because Dragon Quest Builders, like, had a plot that was really developing. Like, Dragon Quest Builders just might be a more hardcore game, relatively. I think it's, like, one of my favorite, like, open-world Minecraft-style games just because it had an actual plot, and it was actually kind of an RPG at the end of the day. They just had that one portion where, like, all your stats and everything didn't mean anything, and, like, only your teammates could actually deal damage. It was okay. Like, it was actually a surprisingly, refreshingly fun game. Ridge had a really good suggestion on that, 100%. I just wish I was more into Dragon Quest. That's like a very, very niche thing in the West. Think about how different it would be if Final Fantasy wasn't the favored child and it was Dragon Quest. I wonder how it would be different. Would Square be as big? Would it have taken off as much? Even with Toriyama backing the art, like, would it have really gone anywhere? I don't know. Something to consider. Like, alternate timeline. Maybe Dragon Quest just gets seen as too weeby. Because, I mean, if you look at the box art for Final Fantasy, I don't think... When did they start using the Amano artwork for Final Fantasy 1, specifically? I don't think they did it on the original release, right? They had that, like, axe and sword and, like, a crystal on the cover. I don't think they used the Amano art until way later. I could be wrong, but I remember, you know, like, after a while it became just common to use his artwork and everything. But at the time, I don't think they used it in 1988. It wasn't totally uncommon until recently for games to have completely different box arts depending on their region. I think I was talking about this with Narg one time. Resident Evil 4's box art is completely different depending where you live. So in America, it looks like a fucking action movie, no matter what version of the game you're looking at. And then in Japan, it's just completely different. And then in Europe, they just give it's like this big red thing where Dr. Salvador is just standing in the middle of the woods with a chainsaw. It almost seems like a completely different game, honestly. Unfortunately, you would think that the European version might be the most base. It's actually the most cucked because they censored everything in the European version. European and Australian versions are like notorious for, oh, we don't want to have violence in our anything. That would be bad. So they just remove all the gore. Which makes things look silly, because it's like, here's this guy that just starts cutting into Leon's neck with a chainsaw, and then he just falls over. Ironically, they ended up doing that for Resident Evil 5, so... Pfft. Perfect example of censorship escaping its original domain. If only we all could be so happy. And then they tell you that censorship isn't a big deal. Look, you want to make a game where the main character doesn't get his head cut off, that's totally fine. But the intent was obviously not that, and they got changed to that because of some stupid fucking country's laws. And I said this before about the Rainbow Six shit, like, I don't live in China. I don't live in Canada, I don't live in Germany. So I shouldn't be subjected to their censorship bullshit. Oh, no. What do you need for this? You cannot pass through this area gate at your current trainer rank. Actually, there's another gate in Withered Wasteland that leads to a different town. You might be able to go through to it. Okay. Well, I'd like to finish up here first before we do that. Wow, would you believe this game has more variety and more things you could do at any given point than Metroid? That's fucking wild. That is actually wild. Huh. Censorship is fine. You know it only goes after chuds. Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know what you would call chuds in 2005 when Resident Evil 4 came out, but, you know. That was just back in the violent video games era. Which is why even that phrase is so sensationalized. Do you remember when they had the constant video games are destroying people and turning them into sleeper agents? Hellbent on the destruction of society? There you go. I built those other two for nothing now. Voltorb. Nice to meet you. He's shy. You're not a human. You're a Pokemon. Thank goodness. You see, when humans were around, they always come poke me with stuff thinking I was a Pokeball. And I'm getting zapped, and I always felt so bad for them. Well, I hope you and I can be friends anyway. Bzz. It is said to camouflage itself as a Pokeball will self-destruct with very little stimulus. Generate and explode. They can be fired out of a cannon. Okay. Okay, let me take a sip. Grass flooring. Hmm. I mean, GTA got the worst of it, and infamously, as I always like to point out, Night Trap also got the worst of it for no reason at all. But shocker, they misrepresented it to a bunch of people who didn't know any better. I mean, you could end up doing that today as well. So, in that regard, like, absolutely fucking nothing has changed. Like, you could misrepresent any video game to people if you try hard enough. If you just phrase it and use the right fucking buzzwords, people will believe it. Okay. Still don't have anyone. There you go, big bed. Palmy, what the hell, man? Teemo ass Pokemon? You have to put it on a table. That table. Now, does the table have to have the candle on it? Because they just say it has to be part of the area. Dude, broccoli's great, man. Oh, here you go. You got my bricks. Perfect. Hello? No, it's Lugia. There you go. back to work. There it goes. I know I have to light the slender candle on fire. I'll do that in a second. It's really funny. They give you a bunch of abilities so that way you can, you know, do different moves yourself. And then they just stop giving you abilities and just give it to the partner Pokemon. Oh, there you go. The environment level increased. Very nice. Noctowl. I don't think we get a second Hoot Hoot. What? How do I dismiss? Split up. Alright, back to burning. Right, he's gonna go back to burning? Yes, okay. I mean, like, we're making progress. Like, it's just gonna take a while to get all the stuff we need. Okay. Knitting supplies, first... Oh, sweet, first aid kit. Here we go, a lot of stuff just unlocked. Okay. First aid kit. We need that for something. I can't remember what. Knitting supplies. Water basin. Pokemon can do some watering for you. Sand huts. Like we're on Tatooine. There you go. Pokemon Center rebuilding kit. Harbor pole. Seashore house recipe. Holy, we need bulldoze. And we need build, which apparently we don't have anyone for. Well, we basically have almost all the materials, or we will once they're done making it, so we have time anyway. So it's not a huge deal. Oh, here we go. You're done? There's the iron ores. By the way, when does the FF series continue on stream? Probably once I knock down a couple other games. I have the 7 stream already made. I just keep delaying it because I'm like, okay, well, I'm not ready yet. So probably once we knock down a couple of the other games that are out, that's when we'll go back and do it. Change item amount. Thank you. Since we're going to start to hit the more modern era. I'm not replaying 15, by the way. I'm not going to replay 15 and 16. I don't think anyone anticipated I would, but I'm not going to do that. Okay. Okay. And hey, we made a lot of good progress in this area. We're gonna go back just briefly, I guess, just to see what's going on over here. Wait, hold on. Pokeball lamp. Now, where the hell is this? Like Assassin's Creed, we restarted, and I don't know, I kind of am kicking around. It depends how far we get and what we want to do, or rather what I want to do. I'm not sure how far I'm going to go with even Assassin's Creed, per se. Like, obviously, I'll replay the America games, but I don't know if I'm going to go, like, super hardcore. And I don't know if I'm going to do Syndicate, is basically what I'm trying to say. Well, we're going to need a lot of bridges or something. I don't know. You know, but seeing that Assassin's Creed trailer really just made me appreciate it. Like, I do like Assassin's Creed. Like, even when I think they make mistakes, I do think it is still a fun series. I think they just make really stupid decisions. Shadows just being probably the worst of it. But it's still always been a fun series. It's still always had, like, a good meta-narrative, which I always thought was, like, kind of fun. I just wish they would cut the bullshit sometimes and not have to reinvent the game constantly. I feel like that's definitely a fucking L. Am I not going to do the good one, the London one? I don't think so. I didn't really like it. I don't think it was that good. I remember not really enjoying it. It was better than Unity, but that's not really saying much. Copper, okay. Like, being better than Unity just meant your game actually performed well. Unity never performed well. Remember when PS4 games used to crash? I don't think I've ever had a PS5 game crash. Have I? There might have been one game that crashed on PS5. I can't remember what it was. I don't know if I'll sink 200 hours into this game. I don't think it's that great, to be honest with you. Professor's Diary number 3. Today was our gathering attended by Pokemon professors from every region. We had a surprising announcement in store. Increasingly intense weather anomalies and the calamities striking each region as a result show no sign of slowing down. At this rate, predictions suggest we will no longer be able to obtain enough food and energy to continue living on this planet. As we learned that a plan was secretly in motion to evacuate all of humanity into space, it also seemed that with a few exceptions, it will not be possible to bring Pokemon with us. Of course, some immediately raised their voices in protest, which is when we heard about the Pokemon Conservation Project. Man, this game is becoming very grim very fucking fast. But that just sounds silly. How could they have a project only to save humans and not Pokemon? Wow, you actually can't go any further? It's completely mineable, but you can't go any further. Look at this. It's completely mineable, you just can't do it. I mean, you know what? It is kind of worth mining at the bare minimum because we could use it to build all the bridges since we need a lot. I got dirt as cheap, so I liked it. Yeah, that's the difference. Is if you got any game for dirt cheap, you probably would like it more. As a $60 game, I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was, like, very flawed. I don't like games where they do this dual protagonist shit. I feel like modern day games that do it just use it as an excuse to like drop you into the wrong mission with the other character than you would want to play as. So I remember GTA 5 did that a lot, where they would have Trevor be the guy that's good at flying, and then for one of the heists they make Michael fly. And it's like, well, that defeats the whole purpose. The whole purpose is that Trevor's the guy that flies. Why would we have Michael fly? Stuff like that. I just feel like they just do that too much. So like I remember there being quite a few sneaking missions with Jacob, and then a bunch of combat missions with Evie, and like it works. It's just like it defeats the whole purpose of having characters that are supposed to be designed around one thing or the other, when it's obvious that they just either don't care or they just use it as a way to force you into weird fucking situations that you shouldn't be in. Oh shit, there he is. Holy shit. Okay, well, then that's gonna be a wrap for fucking Pokemon. Isn't that nice? What's up, homie? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, okay. Sleeping?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all good. Alright, let me wrap up here and we can play Spice Marine, which I have to find because I don't know where the hell I put it.
Being a trucker probably is a fun thing.
I think you romanticize that too much, I'll be honest. I think you'd probably hate it if you were on the road. Well, you wouldn't be able to play video games.
Probably could just set something up in my truck.
Bro.
Because then I'd have a bed in the behind my driver's seat. I could have a TV set up, have a gaming setup, and then if I need, and then you have trucker rest stops where you can like pay to like take a shower there.
I think you're romanticizing it a little too much. I don't think you'd enjoy it. But hey, I don't know. Maybe there's some alternate reality where you're like an ace trucker. Anything's possible in this broad, wide world.
Oh, I posted in our Discord, but yeah, saw what happened with Pragmata, right?
I'm not touching that one with a 20-foot pole. I have nothing valuable to add to that. I digress. I knew this was going to happen someday with Capcom. I just simply have nothing to add to it.
Very funny the kind of stances they take.
I don't
Very
really,
funny.
I'm not touching that one. I refuse.
And I won't go too into detail with it, but very funny that this happened after they told a Resident Evil YouTuber to take down videos of mods that he used.
Look, Capcom might know how to make games. I think their PR is sometimes very hit or miss. Like the whole notion.
Well, it's Capcom USA, so again,
what branch of Capcom was like, oh, why would we re-release the fucking old games? We have the new games you guys could play. Do you remember that? That was the reason they gave when people were like, hey, why doesn't Capcom just re-release all the old shit? They specifically said, oh no, because we want to, we already remade 2 and 3. Why would you want to play the old versions? Like, did you not play Resident Evil 3 Remake? What part of that was Resident Evil 3? Very interesting how they think about that sometimes. It's like, oh, well, there's a new version. Why would you want to play the old one? That's like Boomer 101. Is like, what the fuck is going on?
Old version has way more content than the new version.
Old version just has way more soul in it. Fuck that. Old version knew what the hell it wanted to be and did not fucking hold back in the slightest. But anyway, I digress. That's what I was saying, like the Crowcat video is right on the fucking money. It's like we just made a game, it just doesn't have the same soul, it doesn't have the same aura, it is just a product of its time. Whereas the original is a timeless product. And I think it's fine to say that, and that doesn't mean the game is bad. Like, I think we could acknowledge that, hey, 2 things can be true, and I'm glad that both versions exist, like, if you prefer one over another. But I also won't sit here and tell you, like I'm not gonna be mad that they made it. It's not a bad game. But what I will say is that it is just... Oh, great, now I'm gonna drown. Would you believe this shit? I did all of that running just to fucking drown. That's crazy, thank you. I don't know, I just think it's really fucking weird. Like, everyone can criticize the Resident Evil 3 remake besides, like, the most absolute, like, unhinged motherfuckers on Twitch, or on Twitter, running to defend what's obviously a flawed remake, but no one can ever talk about Resident Evil 4. And then for some reason, 20 years later, Resident Evil 5 is still getting fucking shit on, even when the actors themselves said they didn't feel like it was racist or bad. No winning. You see that All Will Fall game? No. Well, what is it on? I've never heard of it. All Will Fall. No, I haven't. Alright, so now that we got thoroughly sidetracked, going on a complete side adventure. I don't like that the island is split up like this. Waterworld City Builder? No. I'm almost never into games like that, just being honest. Okay. Kind of wish this game didn't have loading screens like this as well. I kind of wish it was a more fluid overworld. Maybe as you do stuff, like they remove the fog so you could travel freely. Just one of those things. It's all finished.
Pragmata
nice.
might have been the most effective start a family have kids message I've ever seen.
It's almost like it was always cool and base to be a dad. We just allowed people to think that weed and bullshit was more effective and more better usage of your time. Oh well. You would have to tell people that maybe millennials are just a fuck generation.
There's a weird thing we're seeing with this Sykkuno shit.
What are you talking about? He did nothing wrong. Champion.
Again, shouldn't have cheated,
King
but
shit.
again.
King shit, bro. She forgave him. All is forgiven. It's just, I mean, like, it's just, you see a dude get fucking patsied for shit, it's like, what the fuck? We need 2 Pokemon with Burn. Would you believe this shit? Alright, so we need Girder, Drifloon, Bellsprout. What was it? Vespiquen, Heracross? Who even knows where the fuck they went, dude? And we need double burn Pokemon, which I don't even know where we're gonna find that.
Oh boy. IGN gave their review of Mouse PI for a hire.
I would like to stop you right there. I don't give a fuck what IGN has to say. If IGN says something, I'm inclined to believe the opposite after all the years of gaslighting and bullshit.
Mother Simulator, Resident Evil 9, Requiem.
I didn't really
Father
feel that
Simulator,
way, though, dude. Like, I don't know. That was just
Pragmata, Sister Simulator, Plague Tale, I think it is. Brother Simulator, Fear 3.
Okay. Alright, folks. That's all the time we're gonna have. Any final words, Max?
Oh, not really.
Actually, before I go, where's my phone? That's actually a really good question. I have no idea. Where the fuck is my phone? Because I have no idea where I put Space Marine, actually. So this could be the shortest Space Marine session ever. Because I don't know where I put the actual physical game at all. Here's Batman. There's a whole pile of bullshit I haven't sorted through, including Henna.
Oh wait, the Goldmund is back in Battlefield 6 Season 3. 4 times bigger than Mirak Valley, built from fan feedback, bigger open maps. Moving train returns as dynamic objectives.
I found it.
Full vehicle warfare is back. Balance for snipers and infantry combat.
Anyway, if they don't fucking nerf these dudes getting hit repeatedly, I don't give a shit, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I just don't.
no. And from what
too many snipers are over here just being, doing bullshit. That's why it's not fun.
I've played Goldman Railway to Goldman like 1 or maybe 4 times.
I mean, we used to play it a lot on 4. I just wish they would stop. I don't know. All right, that's all.